folks, it's Shannon. Welcome to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about some of my favorite things that I use for journaling. So if you don't have strong opinions about paper and pen, this may not be the video for you, but if you're curious about mine, grab some tea and we'll get into it. So first I wanted to talk about notebooks and paper. This is an Archer and Olive Traveler's notebook size. My two favorite brands at the moment are Archer and Olive and Notebook Therapy because they have nice thick paper. It's 160 GSM, which means that you don't get much ghosting or bleed through or warping of the page if you're using other things. I don't usually use a Traveler's notebook size. I just grabbed this because it was one where it was easiest to see the paper. Because I haven't written a ton in here yet. So these are bound books and they have a fairly bright white paper color, which some people aren't into, but I like just fine. So that's one example. This is another example. This is a B5. This one's a Notebook Therapy one that was from their summer solstice collection. And I just wanted to show you that there's a big variation in size. So the paper is pretty similar, bright white with kind of gray dots. I'm a dot grid girly, so I use dot grid paper most of the time. And that's because it allows me to either write or draw without it interfering too much with what I'm doing. So that's a B5, but my absolute favorite paper is actually blackout paper, which I don't have any of right now. So I have this blue that I'm using in my current grimoire. And I just love dark paper because it really makes colors pop. So you'll get to see some of my additional work and some of the pages I did before. But like, come on, it's gorgeous. So, those would be my recommendations for notebooks if you're doing journaling that requires any kind of art, really. I like 160 GSM paper, and like I said, Archer and Olive and Notebook Therapy are my favorites, and we'll link everything that we're talking about down below in the description box. And if you can't tell, I have opinions. A lot of people hate gel pens, but I'm a big fan of gel pens in part because I love using dark paper. So you'll notice that I have a fair amount. These are Sakura Jelly Roll Moonlight pens, and they have bright colors that make it stand out on the dark paper that I like to use. These are another group of Sakura Moonlight Jelly Rolls. Yeah. I really recommend them, honestly. And I use them for my white as well. Let me put it right side up. So Sakura Jelly Rolls. I like the 08 size for writing. Oh, it's all blurry. My favorite pen for just writing black pen is a Pilot G2 with a small nib. I have a bunch of those. If I'm writing in gold, I found these Pentel pens that are metallic sunbursts, and they're gorgeous. You might see some gold on some of my pages. It's good to have some highlighters and stuff too. I have some midliners that are in the vintage colors way, which I like. Yeah, and then just more bright colors to kind of mix things up sometimes too. So yeah, there are tons of pens out there, but those are just the ones that I've kind of ended up landing on with my journaling. If you know Archer and Olive at all, you've heard about their acrylographs. These are some of my metallic ones, and they're basically paint pens. You have to shake them up quite a bit to use them. But then you kind of press down on the page to activate them, and then you can write with them. And they have glorious colors that stand out really well on the dark colored paper. Let me see if I can find places where I've used them. So this was all with that Jelly Roll pen. These are Jelly Rolls. This writing is an acrylograph. It's the red one here. The red metallic one, which seemed perfect for Mars. These are from the newest subscription box that Archer and Olive put out, and they're a cool size. They're 1.3 millimeter tips, so they're a little bit thicker, and I am enjoying them very much so. They're also fun colors and shiny, which is always a good combination in my opinion. So same acrylographs that I used for this page when we were working on that. Here's green acrylograph, so I often use it for titles. Here's the blue from the subscription boxes. Yeah. So that's kind of how I use the acrylographs the most often, is for headings. But you can also use them to draw with and other things too. So once you've got your paper and pen, you've got everything you need to do journaling. But there's lots of other things that you can play with. So I figured in this part we would talk about the toys of journaling. So washi tape is one of my favorite things to use in my journaling spreads. I get it from a bunch of different places and have kind of a box that's full of all the options, but I tend to take out colors that go together to work month by month. So I just pulled over some of the ones that I'm working with this month. This is a cool set from Simply Gilded that shows kind of a wintry scene. I think it's supposed to be Norway, which is why it's got all these cool fjords. Along with that one came this shiny puffin washi that I love. But I also just have a lot of dark colors with patterns, some just solid colors, and kind of a variety of colorways so that I can mix and match and build with them. Washi tape is cool because it comes back up, so it sticks but it comes back up. So you can kind of adjust it a little bit more than some other kinds of tape like PE tape and those kind of things. Yeah, so washi is a fun thing to start adding into your spreads when you've got some that catch your eye. So I wanted to show you my Canon IV. It's a little bit banged up because I use it so much, but this is the little mini printer that I use to print out pictures to put into my journals pretty often. They come with little packets of paper that are about this size, and will print out onto something that size that you can put into your journal. So let me show you some examples. This picture is from my Canon IV. These are stickers, so not from there. These are actually printed out on my color printer, but this is a sticker from my Canon IV. So you can see they're not exactly photorealistic colors, but they're pretty good in my opinion. Maybe a little blue if anything. So yeah, that is one big thing that I use. There's other versions. There's an HP Sprocket. There's a newer Canon IV as well. And so there's lots of options out there that you can look into. If you're going to be adding things to your journal, you're going to be needing adhesives. So I tend to use either my glue stick, which is straight up Elmer's back from in the day, or I have these Scotch tape dispensers that dispense double-sided tape kind of along a roller. So you just put it down and move it along like that. And they're great. They make it a lot easier to put stuff in without making a ton of mess. So I would recommend looking into them. Another fine touch that you can get is a corner rounder. So they often will look something similar to this. This one has small, medium, and large corners. And you just put the paper in and then stamp it, and it'll cut off the corner for you. So again, fine detail, not everybody needs it, but it is kind of a nice touch to make my pictures look more like pictures and less like stuff that I printed out. And depending on what you're journaling, you're gonna need a lot of stickers. These are just some of mine. But I figured I would link some of my favorite sticker brands down below. I'm a witch, so I like witchy journaling, but I also like adorable tiny bears and things like that. So Astray is one place that I really love getting stickers from. They have a lot of things for the sabbats. This is some stickers from Simply Gilded. They're a little bit more functional, which means like straight lines and things like that instead of decorative, so I don't use them quite as much, which is why I still have them. Here's some more from Astray. She's got names of sabbats, but also kind of names of the new moons and full moons and things like that that are interesting. Let's see, here's some of her stuff for in bulk, since that's timely right now. And you can see like the decorations tend to get used up quicker on mine. But let's see. Yeah, there's tons of great sticker places out there. I wanted to show off Astray, but I also wanted to show off which ones are they? Here we go. My friend, the person that works at Wise Minerva Studios, also has some great stickers. You can see that they get used up pretty quickly, but really witchy, really fun. Lots of cool themes. So, stickers are dangerous though. You can spend a ton of money on stickers really quickly. So I would recommend, if you can be more patient than me, just kind of building up slowly over time and finding what you actually use and then going based on that. Easier said than done though, so good luck out there. I think that's most of what I use. I have some just like scissors, but they're not very exciting scissors. They're just some kitchen scissors that I found that I wasn't using for the kitchen. Yeah, and then I think the rest of my journaling is really based on the tarot cards and oracle cards that I pull, or the runes that I pull, or things like that. But that seems like a kind of separate topic to talk about. So I hope this was interesting. These are some of the tools and toys that I love to use for journaling. Let me know some of your favorites below. I would love to find some new stuff. I'm always experimenting with new versions of things and seeing what I like best. So I hope this was fun, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.